Subway Surfers story time. Let's get started.
There was this one kid, Patricia, who was the teacher's pet. She would always tell on us, and one day she made the mistake of telling on me. My friends and I were cheating on a test, and that little rat, ugly ass, stupid bitch ass, dumb ass, stupid ass bitch, caught me looking at my notes. Her raggedy, stupid dumb ass told the teacher, and my friend and I got detentions. One day me and my friend decided that the bitch messed with the wrong people. We wanted revenge. The next day when we came back to school, my friend gave me an empty water bottle. This was part of our plan. Right before lunch started, I took the bottle to the bathroom and peed in it. My friend and I then decided to sit next to the bitch during lunch. We waited for everyone to leave the lunchroom, and right as we were ready to go, I opened the piss bottle and dumped it all over her pants. My friend and I ran out laughing. The bitch came to class smelling like piss. My teacher told her to go to the nurse, but she kept crying, saying that she didn't pee her pants. No one believed her, and ever since then everyone called her Pissy Patricia. Story time. So when I was in 8th grade, a girl walked up to me and said I was cute. 8 minutes later she came back up to me and asked if I wanted to go to her house. I said sure. Then she told me she had a boyfriend, and me being the little shit that I am, I said I didn't care. We started making out in her room, and her boyfriend came over. He knocked on the door and said her name. I quickly put my shirt on and started acting gay. Right when he walked in, I faced the girl and started fake crying. I said, "My boyfriend broke up with me yesterday." The girl's boyfriend came up to me and said, "It's okay, bro." Then he hugged me. Long story short, I actually turned gay and started dating her boyfriend. So when my sister was 9, she got her first period. I was only 7, and it was only my brothers and my dad at home. So me being the only other girl, she called me in the bathroom when it happened and showed me this huge fucking blood clot that fell on the floor. We didn't know what it was and thought she had a baby at home. We named it Chase. So we picked it up and showed it to our brothers, saying it was a child that was going to grow up. So when it was dinner, all of us set a place for it at the dinner table, and when my mom got home she saw it on the table and panicked, yelling what TF was on the table and who put it there. My sister stood up proud as shit, saying it was her child since it came.
About 3 weeks ago I went to my best friend's house for a sleepover. We are both girls and she has her older sister. Anyways, her sister never really talked to us because she was really popular, and to be honest, I was a little bit scared of her. We went to my friend's room and started watching a movie. My friend fell asleep and I drank so much coke, so I got up to go to the toilet. I walked into the bathroom and I accidentally saw her sister's shower reflection of her grinning cat and Peach in the mirror. She was so fucking fit when I tell you I never wanted to have a body more. I didn't think she had heard or seen me, so I waited patiently outside for her to come out because I swear my bladder was about to burst. She came out in her towel and said, "Like what you see," and walked past me into her bedroom. She beckoned me into her room and I thought she wanted to
One time in grade 12, my best friend, who we're gonna call Maddie, asked me to come over to her place to help her get ready for her date with her boyfriend, who we're gonna call Aiden, who she's been with for over 3 years, and I spent hours doing her hair, makeup, choosing her outfit, etc. I was close with Aiden before they got together, and I low-key had feelings for him, but the feeling wasn't mutual. I was always jealous of Maddie for dating Aiden and always wanted revenge. Months after the date, Maddie was at work and she works night shifts. Aiden had gotten drunk and called me over, and I couldn't reject the offer. I came over and a little later we were making out in his room, and you probably know what happened next. I felt so guilty and I couldn't build up the courage to tell Maddie. A few weeks later I started puking and gaining weight, and I really didn't want to believe I was pregnant. I took a pregnancy.
When I was 15, my brother had a friend over, so I also thought his friend was cute. So it's about 7 or 8 when he comes over, so I'm about to get in the shower in my head because I knew he was coming, so I got in the shower, and I don't usually leave the door unlocked, but this time I did because I forgot to lock it. So his friend asked him, "Yo, where is the bathroom?" He said, "Go upstairs to the right." He said okay, but I was in my zone taking my shower, so he knocked but I couldn't hear him, and He walked in and I said, bro, I told you to stop walking in on me. I said, oh hey, when did you get here? He said, I just got here and had to use the bathroom. My best friend had asked me to come over her house, so I did, and she had an older brother named Luis. He would always look at me, and I'm not gonna lie, it turned me on because he was hot. But one day my best friend was sleeping and I went to the bathroom. And I walked on him showering and he pulled me inside and we did the nasty, and weeks later I ended up pregnant. Till this day my best friend doesn't know my son is her nephew.
So at my school, there was this really hot popular boy that we all thought was really mean, but everybody was fake to him because everybody just thought he was hot. One day me and my friends were sitting down at lunch, and he came over to our table. This was really weird because me and my friends were not popular at all. We all just kind of went with it and didn't say anything, but we all knew something was right. He was talking to us and laughing with us, and it was actually kind of nice. He was really nice to us. And then I felt something weird touch my foot, so I looked under the table and I realized that he was rubbing his foot up against mine, and then I looked up at him across the table and he winked at me. I felt a little uncomfy, so I said that I had to go to the bathroom, and he said that he had to go to the bathroom too. We were talking on the way to the bathroom.
In high school I had a really hot math teacher, and all the girls wanted to bang him, even some of the guys. My god, he was so hot I would let him get me pregnant any day. And there was this one popular girl in my class who bullied me in middle school, was always showing off in front of him and trying to get his attention. So one day he asked if anybody would want to cut some papers for him using one of those big slicers that had a huge ass blade. She immediately jumped up and volunteered herself, and he told her thank you, and he showed her how to cut the papers and told her to be very careful because the blade was super sharp. She was like, lol, okay, and he walked back to his desk. She turned around and asked if she was doing it right, just to make sure that he was watching her, and pushed down on the blade, and then she just started screaming. That stupid bitch cut off her finger and there was blood everywhere. It looked like someone got murdered. The girl went to the hospital, but we couldn't find her finger, so it couldn't get sewn back on, so instead of a finger she had a nub. Like a week later we found her finger in the dry erase marker bucket, and it was all shriveled up and looked like a stick of beef jerky. I wish she would have cut all of her fingers off, but I guess. In high school I had a really hot math teacher, and all the girls wanted to bang him, even some of the guys. My god, he was so hot I would let him get me pregnant any day. And there was this one popular girl in my class who bullied me in middle school, was always showing off in front of him and trying to get his attention. So one day he asked if anybody would want to cut some papers for him using one of those big slicers that had a huge ass blade. She immediately jumped up and volunteered herself, and he told her thank you, and he showed her how to cut the papers and told her to be very careful because the blade was super sharp. She was like, lol, okay, and he walked back to his desk. She turned around and asked if she was doing it right, just to make sure that he was watching her, and pushed down on the blade, and then she just started screaming. That stupid bitch cut off her finger and there was blood everywhere. It looked like someone got murdered. The girl went to the hospital, but we couldn't find her finger, so it couldn't get sewn back on, so instead of a finger she had a nub. Like a week later we found her finger in the dry erase marker bucket, and it was all shriveled up and looked like a stick of beef jerky. I wish she would have cut all of her fingers off, but I guess.
In my sophomore year of high school I had a really hot math teacher. Like, he was sexy blonde hair, brown eyes and everything. So this one time I got a 20 on my quiz and he asked me to stay after school for corrections, and I was like okay. After 9th period was over, I went to his class and it was just me and him, so it was kind of awkward, but I didn't care because that meant me and him were alone together. Anyways, he started telling me what I did wrong on my test and how to fix it. I tried fixing it, but I kept getting it wrong and I broke down crying because of how much of a stupid bitch I am. He saw me crying and wiped away my tears and said, you're not dumb. You're really smart, it's just this unit you've been messing up in. You can do this. He leaned in and kissed me. I was like, oh my fucking god, I can't believe this is happening. I kissed back and we started making out for some time. Then we eggplant, water droplets, water droplets, water droplets, sweaty red face with tongue out, sweaty red face with tongue out, sweaty red face with tongue out, scissors, 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 explosion, explosion, explosion. In the middle of the classroom. At the end we agreed to never talk about it again. I think he was like 40 or something, but hey, I got a 100 in math for the rest of the year. So in 8th grade I got my first period in filmmaking class and I didn't know what to do. There was blood on the seat, so I started having a panic attack and grabbed my jacket and put it around my waist and cleaned the chair. I asked my teacher to go to the bathroom and he said I had to wait. At this point blood was coming out and I couldn't wait any longer, so I just left the back way of the classroom. On my way to the bathroom I was crying and a boy asked me if I was okay and I said no. I started my period and I had blood all over me. So this boy went to the nurse to ask for a tampon, but I didn't know how to put it in, so he went to his girlfriend and asked for a pad, and then he went to his PE locker and gave me his PE shorts to wear. He told me he had sisters, so he knew all about it. He told me that everything was gonna be okay. So Jack, if you're seeing this, I love you for helping me. Before you all judge me, I was 13 years old and was a psycho bitch. I was in 8th grade and I had a crush on this boy. Let's call him Jay. Jay was the most popular boy in middle school and everyone wanted him like he was so fine and I would've taken my pants off for him. I was low-key obsessed. I learned his whole schedule just so I could walk by him and get a whiff of his cologne. Anyways, my favorite teacher noticed me staring at him and stopped me after class to ask if I had a crush on him. I said yes and then we started to talk about him after class every day. Eventually he got a girlfriend and I was so mad. Like so mad some hoe-ass bitch stole my man. I mean the audacity, this cat piss smelling frog-faced golem looking dumb bubblegum man stealing bitch, and I wanted to stab her so bad. I accidentally told my teacher I wanted to stab her and he had to contact the school. So the police got involved and they had to tell his parents and the girl's parents and my parents. And now they both have a restraining order on me.
Okay, so this is my confession. In 6th grade there was this male teacher that nobody really liked and he never let anybody go to the bathroom. We had another class after his and then it was lunch, so he always used that as an excuse. It was really annoying. But since it was 6th grade, girls were getting their periods, so in class I asked to go to the bathroom and he said no. So in response I told him fine, but then he would have to clean the blood from my chair. He very angrily let me go. After that he told all the girls that having a period is a problem and we couldn't use that as an excuse. So, at the end of the year on the last day of school, every single fucking girl that had him in class all decided to collect our period blood and freshly used pads and tampons and put the blood on the chairs and the pass everywhere. We told the janitor who everyone liked what we did and not to clean it so the teacher would have to. He agreed and left school early that day. Lol.
When I was in 9th grade we had a substitute teacher. Let me tell you, he was so fine. All the girls were over him. Mind you, he was at least 25 or older. Since it was a sub, everyone thought they could do whatever. So everyone took out their phones and started messing around. But he wasn't having it, so he took everyone's phones and put them in a bucket. He also made us beg for them back until we were so tired we couldn't even talk. Once class was over he told me to stay. I just stood there not knowing what to do, but then he said, "Since you were the only one not using your phone, I want to give you a special surprise, but you can't tell anyone, got it?" And then that's when I knew what he was doing. So
I went to a sleepover with my best friend. She had an older brother that she said was gay and she shared a room with him. I wouldn't have been able to go if he wasn't. Towards the time we were all falling asleep, my friend said I could sleep with her, but her bed was on the top bunk and I was afraid of heights, so I asked to sleep on the bottom bunk with her brother. We were sleeping there and I didn't think anything of it because I thought he was gay, but then I felt him come closer to me and we were spooning like, "Bitch, I thought you were gay," but I didn't mind cause he was hot. He was 16, by the way. Later that day he was smiling at me when I woke up and we were both awake just cuddling. Later on in the afternoon, my friend and her mom went to the store and I didn't go because I have anxiety and don't like going into stores. I stayed home with the brother and when they left we were just minding our own business, but then I started crying from an edit I was watching and he came up to me and kissed me. We were making out on his bed and then we had sex. We heard his mom coming up the stairs, so we got dressed really quickly and acted like nothing happened. Now when I come and stay the night we always meet up in the bathroom in the middle of the night and I always sleep in his bed with him and stuff, and we do it all the time. Monkey covering eyes.
Anyway, so me and my boyfriend were drunk, and I mean drunk. We are both boys, if that changes anything. Anyway, I was sitting on his lap and we were watching some really dumb videos and one of them was really fucking funny and I laughed so hard that I peed myself, so I pissed on his fucking leg and I was scared, but he got a boner from it and TBH it kinda turned me on too. Oops, smirking cat face. So the next day we talked about it a bit and he said he jerked off to it, so I was like, oh, okay, and now we piss on each other, but we are obviously hydrated because yellow piss is fucking nasty. But yeah, kink shame me all you MFS want. At least I'm getting DCK and it's actually big. I swear that man has a monster dong. Standing person with medium light skin tone. Sparkles.